the way that I look at it is the use of technology, particularly information technology, in the financial sector. And it's something that if we look at the past 30 years, the world has undergone a process of digital financial transformation, so that by the time of this crisis, the beginning of the 2020s, across much of the world, we're living in a digital financial system. And so, if we think about that process, we can really see it from four different directions that have had a very important impact in the context of how finance and digital finance have been involved in this crisis. The first is a long-term digital transformation of developed markets. We can think of things like stock trading, high frequency trading. The fact that in the United States, in Europe, in most developed markets, well over 60, 70, 80% of all stock trading, all securities trading takes place between computers, with humans only involved at a tertiary level. Secondly, think about foreign exchange transactions moving money across the world. This is digital movement of money, very little cash. Second, and often what people think about when they're thinking about fintech, are fintech startups, new firms that have entered in to challenge the traditional financial services sector. And one thing that we've seen an explosion of since the 2008 crisis is these sorts of new entrants, things like Lending Club, or different sorts of small firms. But the reality is these sorts of firms are not necessarily new. Think about PayPal. PayPal in the 1990s was a fintech startup. Today, PayPal is a payments major. Likewise, think about Bloomberg. Bloomberg is in many ways the prototypical fintech startup. Michael Bloomberg started out in IT at Salomon Brothers. What did he come up with? He came up with a secure electronic communication system. He took that out as a startup with investment from Salomon Brothers. It is today the world's most important information services firm. That is fintech. These are startups. The third area is really around developing countries. And certainly if we look at China, China over the past 10 years has experienced the most rapid and complete digital financial transformation of any country in the history of the world. And that really brings us to our fourth theme, which is one that is very much getting reinforced in the context of this current crisis. And that is an increasing involvement, not of fintech startups, of little challengers, but rather of big techs, big firms which enter into financial services and are changing the way that financial services are done. Firms like Amazon in the United States or Alibaba's Ant Financial in China. So when we think about fintech, we're thinking about technology and the transformative impact that it has on the way that finance is done.